All right, so we're gonna get back to this compressor project here. I did a video over a month ago talking about this and how I was gonna set it up. So now the time has come to rebuild it. You can see all the carnage down in there. And so now we gotta tear it apart, see what we need so we can get all the parts ordered. Should be a pretty simple process, or at least I hope. So I'll just kind of do check-ins along the way as we get it taken apart. We're going to take it completely, or my plan is to take it completely down. We'll see what all we need to do. So it should be a fun project. Okay, we have the compressor apart. We actually decided to leave the heads together. So they're over here. The heads we're just going to leave together because there's actually no problems with them that we see. We'll give those a thorough inspection before we completely put it all back together. But clearly we have identified the problem. You can see that this bearing is pretty much non-existent. Now we did probably a little bit of that taking it out, but that bearing there is clearly missing some of its the shells to hold the ball bearings in, and you can see the remnants in the bottom of the crankcase right there. So that's clearly the problem. It was making some really nice sounds when we were just turning it over by hand. In fact, it would occasionally get stuck. So that clearly it just needs new bearings, we think. So we'll get those added in. There appears to be no problems with the bearing journals, anything like that. We haven't given them a thorough inspection yet, but I see no reason to suspect otherwise. So yeah, it should be pretty simple rebuild. Just gotta get the parts here, get these all cleaned up, get them apart. I don't know if I'll need a press or not. I don't have a press, but anyway, we'll get there. So that's progress so far. All right, so while we're waiting on, I can't remember exactly where I left this video off. It's been a little while since I worked on this. This is the air compressor, and I think I'll just tack this on at the end of the other video. But basically, I need a press to get the crankshaft apart, and so I'm going to have to work on that and actually finally break down and buy a press. I have plenty of jobs that I could use a press for, so I'm not that heartbroken about it. But anyway, I have gone ahead and cleaned everything up, cleaned all the gasket surfaces up, wiped them down with WD-40 so they're fine. Sitting around, cleaned up all these surfaces, and then what I did is I just put everything back together, put the bolts where they should be, put the crankcase cover on. I didn't tighten them down or anything. There's no gaskets on there. Cleaned out the crankcase, got all of the metal shards and everything else off of that out of there, and then, like I said, sprayed it all down with WD-40. So that's a wrap for this project for probably at least a couple weeks, if not more than a month. Have to figure out what kind of press I want, and kind of go from there. I've been looking at either a 40 or 50 ton hydraulic over air, or air over hydraulic, however you say that. Mostly because I've got some things around here that I know I need some pretty serious pressure on to get apart. I don't think that this crankshaft is any different. So I'm gonna do some research. I've done a little bit already, and see what I end up with press wise. So and if I decide I don't need a press quite yet, I'll at least go ahead and take it to a shop and have them press it out and press it back on. I just don't know who locally could do that. But yeah, we'll get there. So this is one of those projects that we've made it quite a long ways, but we've got to have to put it on the back burner until I get some different tools. But in the end, a new press will be very nice to have. I've got lots of things that I can use it for. Very minimum rebuilding spindles for decks and stuff like that. So anyway, thanks for watching.